Woo! What's going on, guys? What's going on? Holmes Forum here. Thanks for coming on to the video. This video today, we're going to be talking about this football game that just passed yesterday. This is Reaction Monday. Seattle Seahawks at the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. The aftermath. Seahawks going up to 2-2 on the year. Detroit Lions falling to 1-3, bottom of the basement. 48-45, Seattle Seahawks, Lions lose. Unbelievable football game if you love offense. Defense was atrocious on both sides of the field. Lions couldn't stop a damn thing. Seahawks couldn't do anything on defense really either. Made a couple stops though. But we lost a couple players too as well. Cephas ended up getting hurt with a foot injury. Amani Oruwariye hurt his neck later on in the fourth quarter. So we did lose a couple guys during that game. But let's talk some stats, and then we'll get into the ins and outs of this football game. Geno Smith for the Seahawks. We start off with the home team. Geno Smith with the Seahawks was 23 for 30 with a 76 completion rate, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. Looked like Steve Young. Detroit Lions made him look like Steve Young, literally like Steve Young. They rushed the ball. Rashad Penny, 17 for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns, 8.9 yards per carry. Geno Smith was 7 carries for 49 and a touchdown. Like I said, he was Steve Young on this day. Receiving, DK Metcalf had a phenomenal day for 7 catches, 149 yards on 10 targets. Tyler Lockett with a nice day too, 6 catches for 91 yards on 8 targets. Will Dissly, 4 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown on 4. Caught all 4 of his passes and with a touchdown. Noah Fant, 1 catch, 2 yards, 1 touchdown. Every touchdown Geno Smith thrown this year has been to the tight end, by the way. 6 touchdowns on the year, all to tight ends. Now, one single punt did the Seattle Seahawks have. Their offense was click, click, clacking through the whole game, man. Woo! What an offensive performance by the Buffalo Bills. Oh, no, I mean the Baltimore Ravens. No, I meant the Seattle Seahawks. Woo! Wow. Now let's go to their defense. Their defense didn't do much, but we're going to put out their biggest guys. Linebacker Jordan Brooks had 11 tackles and a fumble recovery. Safety Quandre Diggs had 7 tackles. Cornerback Tariq Woolen, another rookie, had 5 tackles, a pick, and it resulting in a pick 6. The other corner, Kobe Bryant, the other rookie, had 6 tackles and a forced fumble. And then edge rusher, kind of outside linebacker, Uchenna Onwusu, had 3 tackles and a sack. Not really much to talk about their defense. They had a couple stops. Obviously, the pick 6 kind of needed to do that. It was just a shootout at the OK Corral. Now for the Lions. Their quarterback situation, Goff was fantastic. Nothing bad to say about Jared Goff in this game. He was fantastic. 26 for 39, 66% completion percentage, 378 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick. It resulted in a pick 6. It was really only his bad throw of the day. I really thought he was phenomenal. He was great. He wasn't the reason for anything. I got my feelings on Jared Goff, but they're not getting brought up today or anything like that. Doesn't mean my feelings went away, but he was great. There's nothing going on wrong with Jared Goff yesterday. Now rushing, Jamal Williams took over because DeAndre Swift was hurt. 19 carries for 108 yards, 2 touchdowns at like 5.7 yards per carry. He was awesome. Had a really nice long run too. So showed some burst, showed some speed out there. Had a great stiff arm to get that touchdown. Craig Reynolds was 2 for 30, 2 carries for 30 yards. At 15 yards per clip. Maybe they could have used him more, but Jamal was doing just fine. And that was it. They didn't really use Justin Jackson might have got a carry or so, something like that, but it was nothing special. And then receiving, TJ Hawkinson had a phenomenal football game. Became the focal point of this game. 8 catches for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns on 12 targets. Had a phenomenal day. Josh Reynolds stepped up as the number 1. Had 7 catches for 81 yards and a really nice touchdown catch too. 8 targets. Tom Kennedy, 3 catches for 54 yards. He had to step in on 5 targets. And then Justin Jackson had 2 catches for 4 yards and a touchdown. The touchdowns were going all day for Jared Goff. 4 of them thrown. 3 to the, 2 to the tight end, one to the what's it called? Wide receiver, and then 1 to the running back. He spread the ball all over the field. And then Dominic Eberle, our kicker, missed 2 extra point kicks. And then that was all she wrote. Defensively, there's nothing really positive to say about this, but safety Deshaun Elliott had 11 tackles. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez had 10 tackles and a forced fumble. I believe it was on a kickoff. I think it was a kickoff, and then I don't know who recovered it. I think it was the long snapper, Scott Daly. Hutchinson had 5 tackles. He did have a tackle for loss, a couple pressures, but he's still playing wild. He's still playing with his hair on fire. It seems like he needs to calm down. It seems like he's just in one gear. He needs to gear it down a little bit. And I can't tell this kid how to play football because, it's just, he did go on this. He did get on the stat sheet, but they were terrible all around. There's nothing positive to say about this defense. And then we lost the football game, plain and simple. Now, to place blame on this game, I know there's a lot of people placing blame on, there's some people even trying to say that Goff was the reason why they lost, which is stupid, I think, which is absolutely dumb. He was not the reason why we lost this football game. Not even, you put 0% blame on him. He didn't do anything wrong. He threw a pick 6, so what? So what? They put 45 on the board. You're supposed to win friggin' football games when you score 27 and up. No defense was played this day by either team. And the Seattle Seahawks came in and dismantled the Detroit Lions defense. My biggest fears came true yesterday for the season. Because it doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any better. Yeah, we're going to New England next week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Facing Bailey Zappi or Brian Hoyer. So what? This defense continues to play like this, there's going to be problems. And I'm telling you right now, Aaron Glenn is on the hot seat. Now, yesterday I was like, he's got to go. He's got to go. And I think he does need to go. I honestly do. I think he needs to be fired. It won't happen this year. Probably not. But if this continues, it might. If this continues, it might. They are worse last year. And we all seen what Dan Campbell did last year when the offense was stale. He fired Anthony Lynn. 9 games in. Fired him. Put him upstairs. Whatever he did, demoted him. Put him in a corner. They never heard from him again. The same will be done to Aaron Glenn. And then somebody has to do something. I don't want to hear that there's no freaking talent on this team on defense. Because there's guys that can play the game on defense. There is. And yes, players have to get a lot of the blame. They 100% do. But players don't fall on the sword, usually. It's the coaches. And I'd be damned if Dan Campbell's going to let somebody like this defense let him get fired. He will get rid of Aaron Glenn. I don't care how big of boys they are, that they coached in New England, that they coached in New Orleans together. That don't matter. One of these guys is going to get Campbell fired. It's going to be Aaron Glenn if he doesn't make a decision on what he needs to do. But there's problems all along. There is. We have some players, but we don't have enough. That's obvious. That is obvious. But you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. Rashad Penny, who ran for 151 yards against the Detroit Lions, 151 yards, 2 tutties. He came out and said, we knew what they were doing defensively all day. They were running the same plays over and over again. And you can see it. And this team has no discipline. I've never seen a team, and this is on the players, I've never seen a team bite so much on play action plays and counter plays. I've never seen a defense bite so hard. And Hutchinson's one of them. He has that problem, man. He bites on lots of stuff. The whole defense does, though. The whole defense, they bite on play action, on counters. Plays going left, but it's actually coming right. Geno Smith would fake left, come back around, run for a first down, or Will Dissly or somebody would get wide open. They would all bite to the right, and the play was going this way, or vice versa. And guys would be wide open. Lanes would be wide open. This defense is a joke. It's an absolute joke. And someone's going to get fired for it. I've never... They are bottom of the barrel and everything. They are terrible. And the way that this offense clicked is incredible to me on how good they actually really are. Now, and how they changed from last year. You know, we saw a glimpse of it. It's coming. It's coming full circle now. There's just it's crazy that big of a difference they made. And Dan Campbell won't hesitate to try to do that with the defense. Because if it can be done offensively, it can be done defensively. Because it's not like we have all kinds of different personnel, player-wise, on this offense than last year. Think about it. It's all the same guys. It's all the same guys. It's all about scheme. It's all about players, obviously. You have to have the players. But we have a couple different players, wide receiver-wise. I do get that. You know, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those guys getting acclimated into the system, which is what you want to see. But to make that overall difference from last year to this, it's crazy good. And they will do it defensively. This was supposed to be some attacking defense this year. I think they're attacking, but they attack too much. They always trying to hunt. They're always trying to get to the quarterback and not contain their lanes, their gaps, whatever it is. They have no containment. They have no discipline. They have zero. That comes from coaching, but that comes from players too. Players know better. They should know better. But this is a really bad defense. It's going to get Dan Campbell fired if he doesn't make changes soon. And changes will come if this continues. The offense was phenomenal. You don't score 45 damn points in the NFL and lose. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Goff was on. The O-line was creating holes. They were pass blocking well. Goff only got sacked once. Couple pressures on him, but they played great. It's going to happen. Wide receivers stepped up. Reynolds, Hawk had a day. Like, we have so many weapons on this team. It's incredible. The offense has been great. It has. And like I said, I have my personal opinions on Goff, but this is not getting brought up. Not in today's video. It can't be. The focus has to be on this defense, man. This defense is atrocious. Williams stepped up on offense too. Can't count him out. He's been a beast all year. Jamal Williams, an absolute beast. A gamer. They have to re-sign him, by the way. They have to re-sign him. They really do. They can't let that kid walk, man. They can't. Hopefully he wants to stay, but he's gonna be getting more money. He's gonna be asking for more money, and he deserves it. He really deserves it. He's a borderline running back one. He really is. He's a borderline running back one who would start on a lot of teams, I think. Who could start as an NFL running back. He really could. He had a great day. He had a phenomenal day. No, everybody on the offense was great. The defense is brutal. Like, there's nothing positive I could say. Malcolm Rodriguez, Hutchinson did have a few pressures. He did have 5 tackles, tackle for loss. He's still playing like a wild child, though. The hair on fire. Needs to calm down a bit. But there's nobody's still out. Amani Oruwariye got torched. Okuda had his first bad game of the year. He did. He got beat up. They were kind of switching. Him and AO were kind of going back and forth on Metcalf and Lockett. Nobody could do anything. They couldn't figure out who to stop who. They couldn't do it. Will Dissly and the tight end group owned owned the linebackers and the safeties. It was just an all-around awful defensive performance with a great offensive performance. It's always something with this friggin' team, man. It's always something. Either one of them is going to be great or one's going to be bad. It's never like I would like a bad defense. I'd be okay with a bad defense, like a ranked 24th, 23rd defense, which I thought they were going to be this year. I thought they were going to go up. They were going to go up from like 30s. They were like what last year? 26, 28, 29, maybe even 30. I thought they were going to go up to I was hoping for about 20 to 23. Some improvement, still need more. They're bottom of the barrel again. A joke of a defense. And you can't keep doing this over and over again. Schematically, they got to work on things. And Dan Campbell said he's sitting down with Aaron Glenn to figure some stuff out. Something needs to be figured out, man. They need to get the right personnel, the right fits in there, the right ski. They need everything. They need to get the players. They had to surround some of these good players with good players. They have to figure it out on how to do it. And then it just needs to be figured out, man. It just needs to be figured out. It just needs to be figured out. And this year is probably not really going to happen. You might see, because we saw what happened last year, and I talked about this a little bit earlier. Sorry, man, but I'm repeating myself. We saw what happened with the offense. It was a god-awful offense last year. Made a couple changes, and all of a sudden it was a really good offense at the end of the year. Goff was playing well. The receivers were playing great. Amon-Ra became like this superstar in like the 9th week. He became like a star, man. And then continued on, and he has to slow down. But he did good. He was out yesterday. We put up 45 points with our star wide receiver out, our starting running back out, 2 guys missing on the O-line. Right? 2 guys. Yeah. Ragnow. No, not Ragnow. Jackson and Vitae. So we still got that kind of that makeshift O-line, and they're playing great, by the way. But we're missing Amon-Ra, Swift, Chark was out. And people like to harp on Chark a lot, and I get it, but he brings an element to this team where it does open up things inside. But Ben Johnson called a great game yesterday. He called a great game. With all his star players out on O-line, on the weapon side of it. We're going to lose that guy, by the way, too, eh? We're going to lose that guy to a head coaching spot sooner than later. So hopefully they can figure out a way to keep that kid. I don't really know how he's going to get a head coaching job. Pay attention when you see guys, if you watch Good Morning Football, okay? And I'm sure a lot of you do. If you watch Good Morning Football, they do a segment. I think they wait a little bit to do this. Peter Schrager, one of the guys on there, does a segment where head coaching candidates like a hot take. Who are the hot coaches going to be coming off coordinators into becoming head coaches? Ben Johnson, I guarantee you, will be top of that list. And it just all depends if they can keep him or not. Because Dan Campbell has kept him under wraps. He has stopped Zach Taylor from acquiring him for years by always giving him a different title, by upgrading his title. Don't know what you can upgrade now from offensive coordinator. I think you can give him, I think next title will be offensive coordinator, assistant head coach. But then you're demoting Deuce Staley. And he does not deserve that. Deuce Staley is doing wonders with the running back room. Wonders. We have some good talent in that running back room, though, but he's a huge part of that. So we're going to lose guys, man. Deuce, Ben Johnson. You heard it here first, guys. I know you guys have probably been thinking about it, but it's going to happen sooner than later. Oh, ain't nobody going to be hiring Aaron Glenn. So get that out. Him as a head coaching candidate, what a absolute joke that was last year. What a joke that was last year. Yeah, they held a couple teams, but they were still one of the worst defenses last year, and they're even worse this year. I can't even believe it. But the game is over, bro. Game done. We lose 48-45, falling to 1-3 on the season. We're off to New England, who's 1-3 as well. And don't think that's a cakewalk, because we can't win on the road. But New England's not even good. They're not even a good football team. But expect to lose, because I expect it now. I don't care who's playing. I don't care what quarterback they dig up. Somebody's having a day against that defense. Overreaction Monday, not really. People got to go, but we'll pull the reins back a bit on that. I do think some changes are coming though. Some guys are either getting demoted or completely kicked out the door, thrown out by the scruff of their pants out the door. Something's happening sooner than later. If this continues, someone's gone. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for paying attention. I appreciate it a lot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos and like, comment, share this out. What do you guys think, man? Terrible loss. 1-3. We should not be 1-3. Not with this type of offense. All I want is a bad offense. Just give me a bad offense. That's it. That's all I want is a bad offense. Even really bad. This is an atrocious defense. Horrific defense. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Lions, one pride. Boom.